We believe that every great event should end with something that is fun and celebratory, something that leaves donors feeling great. Sometimes that's entertainment, sometimes that's an inspirational keynote, sometimes it's music. For the past 2 days, musician, poet, and spoken word artist MOsley WOtta has been with us, learning how to raise money through events. And to send us out with a note of inspiration, we've asked him to share his thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, MOsley WOtta.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, how are you? Yeah, all right. This is one of those just trust that it's gonna work out kind of things. I was literally skipping down the street because I heard it's faster than running. And so, despite the times we live in, I was skipping down the street. Make sure I made it here. What I'm gonna bring, which you prefer? Here? That's okay with me. Is that okay with you? Whichever one is. Okay. All right. Okay, so what I have for you is gonna be, this is fresh, raw, and new. I was creeping in the back, doing that artist sit where you put your feet up on the chair so that you know that you're different than everybody else. And I was trying to sum up, what the thread is, what the core is. Really, that's why I've been asked to come here. It is not for my lackluster email response time. It is not for my, I don't know what the opposite of type A person is, but I'm kind of that, as you can tell by my whatever. My grandmother would say raggedy ass. I was wondering if the A actually accentuated and elevate was for the type of folks that were here. I was like, this is probably a really well-flossed, sock drawer organized group of people who are doing this work. Oh my goodness. But it is about telling stories. And one thing that I was thinking about was, actually it was while watching Samantha yesterday. I want to give birth to a pregnant pause here, that Samantha Swaim has a sexy ass brain. Yesterday, watching this human being, it's a human being, I have to remember that part, fielding questions, navigating technology, working with the AV team, computing what was going on, staying on track, memorized while doing all that. I was like, wow, this is, I was thinking in a past life, if we could talk about time in a linear way, this is the mind of a tactician that sends troops into combat. I wonder if this time around we're using that tactician's brain, that calculated brain, to do some real work that isn't going to have those kind of casualties. And so that's what I'm speaking to today. This is fresh, so you're just gonna have to allow all the authenticity. Okay. It is at a time like this that we discover we are in fact fighters. We are fighters because we love what we do, and this is a point of pride. We are the audacious, and we have as many ideas as we do approaches because we have to make our business change. When we discovered the letters L-O-V-E live inside the word evolve, we did both with sincerity. We pronounced things like today, or tonight, or right now, this is our chance. This is our chance to do what need be done. Yesterday is gone, though its effect is still here, and the future is unsustainable, is untenable, is unavailable if we cannot right now address the reality of our ability to make what we do here carry forward into the future improved. And you do that year after year, event after event. You make improvements, and maybe in the valleys of those engagements where the event is still being planned, Maybe like teachers and mothers, you have found yourself missing the recognition you so truly deserve. So let me take this moment to say thank you for doing this work, this tedious work, this overwhelming, this delicate and fragile and bold work. And we will continue to do this work because we have the temerity to lay in the electric air in dauntless print. We know that we are right, and what is right is to care for each other. And we have asked you to join our fight because we believe we can do more. We say this with sincerity that we cannot thank you enough for giving us the opportunity to make that difference, to help us get where we are going. And where we are going is going to work, and it is going to be beautiful. It is going to represent out there what we believe in here. And it takes a tremendous amount of energy to take that energy and steer it. But I know that with your help, we have enough power that if these bulbs and filaments fail us because of the storm outside, we will see our way to shedding light on what it is we need to do. And we need you to do that, and that is a given. So we'll take this honesty as a given, and authenticity as a given. We take the gifts we were given to rework the urgency. We see the gutter in the gold and the gold in the gutter, and open avenues to marry affluence to activation. We do not put one above the other, with an acute understanding that we will not lose our humanity in this process. And this process will in fact make us more human. And we are very aware of the circles of people who ring around words like impossible with casual finality like, that's impossible. Something about that definition never rang true for us. Matching phrases like, that will never work, with us saying, says who? Like, you can't fight a fight unless someone gets hurt, and we said, says who? And that's when we said, watch me work, because we have found a way to fight that doesn't need to create a victim, and at the same time doesn't exclude victory. And maybe for some of us, when the challenge arose, we just never got good at fighting with our fists. Maybe we even had the aptitude but lacked the attitude to solve problems with violence. Maybe some of us were always too big to hit anybody back. Or we knew what it felt like. Or we knew it hurt and we didn't want to create any more pointless problems. When it came time to square up and the crowd circled around us, we faltered because our default mode exhibited other gifts. We cultivated an affinity for other methods of combat, ones that didn't leave casualties, didn't leave anyone broken, alone, and bleeding. We never walked away from the fight. We simply stepped into our higher purpose. And when we did make fists, it was to hold pens or scripts or wipe away tears or offer up tissues. When we got hit with the fact that not everybody gets a fair shot, some folks fall behind, we became those fighters that lead the charge. And maybe we never expected any of this would look like any of this, and yet here we are, ready to fight hard if we need to. As is often the case, we do need to. This is a room full of people who have found a way to fight that heals bruises, excites movements. We are those people who can't help but find the truth in the cliche, pull truth from the cliche, revitalize its relevance, and vertically prostrate ourselves for the benefit or the gala or the speakeasy as a means to do some real good for real people, for real causes, for real lives affected, acknowledging it is bizarre. The task to marry pleasure and pain, to dress up in our finest, to raise funds for those who have found warmth of the world has gone threadbare. We are not saying it isn't bizarre. We just didn't forget bizarre can also mean communal meeting place, to exchange goods for goodness and raise funds as well as awareness, to help those who have fallen on hard times, to lift voices that have fallen on deaf ears in a world that for them has too often come up short. It is a tall order to stand before people who might not otherwise give you the time of day and acquire their full attention so that you can make this unspoken correlation that an open heart means an open pocketbook, means open doors for those we have so often turned our backs on. We fight for those who have to fight to be heard and carve spotlights for them to step into so that we may glimpse even for a moment just how real the world really gets. We get to show each other just how simple it can be to connect. We bridge build between love and money is just another form of energy, and energy is used to do work, a power to empower, and this power is only held well by those of us who are unwilling to abuse its bounty. We do this work because we no longer abide exploitation or discrimination. We can no longer throw our hands up when we are overwhelmed or up when we're feeling carefree. We put our hands up in questions and we ask, what can we do? And we ask, what is being done? Sometimes raised fists do hold raised bidding paddles. We put our hands up to reach up, and we do this by reaching out. And we do this by working every day to do our best to do better than we did yesterday. And we will use that short fuse attention span to demand that change is now. We have found a way to make a difference that we will see in our lifetime. That we can, in a single evening, do the kind of good that as children we thought required capes and utility belts. And in truth, we are all still kids, still believing in magic, who still don't understand why so many folks have forgotten that play is one of the best ways to learn, so we throw the best parties and deploy enjoyment with military precision. We are fighters of the good fight. Y'all are the trope cognizant, hope jugglers, calendar alchemists, shamanic empathy warriors of compassion and clarity whose management impacts real lives to exact actual dreams with concrete numbers that become the foundation of a world improved one event, $1, one person, one person, one person at a time. Like this is a room full of fighters. Set. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.